Hello and welcome to Watch My Pipe. My name is Kurt. Thanks for tuning in. Before we get into today's episode for the full review for the Solent mixture, I wanted to go through a couple things, including some of the things I've been working on, including hopefully a updated version and better version of the reviews that I've been doing. Last time on the Haunted Bookshop was my first attempt, and I've actually put together some more cleaner notes and changed up the formatting a little bit, so I've got a lot cleaner idea of what I want to do here today. So hopefully this version will stick and will be the format moving forward. But also, I've been working on some upcoming episodes. So I am working on building out a new studio, if you will. So I'll be able to do some more first impressions and whatnot without getting in trouble for smoking in the house. And speaking of, that next first impressions video coming will be for GLP's Gaslight. So in the next day or two here, I'll be putting that together for you. But I am also working on a new series. So over the weekend, hopefully, if things don't get a little too crazy here, I want to put together a new series called Watch Review, or Weekend Watch Review. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to title that yet, but Watches and Wonders 2021 just happened a few weeks ago. This past week, they had another one in Singapore. So I want to go back and revisit some of the new watches that have just been released, including from Rolex. And we'll do a quick watch check for today. So today I'm wearing my Green Hulk. Some other things I'm working on is extras. So put together some snapshots of where I work from home and my workstation, which is also where I keep all my tobacco and my pipes. So want to give you an introduction video, hopefully to tell you a little bit more about myself. And then I'm also, or I actually just completed refurbishing my older Dunhill shelled Bulldog. It's about 30 years old, I want to say, but when I received it, it was okay. Overall, the inside of the bowl was a bit rough, and the stem was probably one of the worst I had ever seen. So without further ado, we're going to hop into the review here. So again, we're talking today about Baren's the Solent mixture, a.k.a. English mixture. So this is an aromatic, but it is what I call a light aromatic, and it's a light English. The tin, unfortunately, is not an actual tin. Again, from my first impressions, I told you I had received this from Allegheny Smokeworks, so this is going to be a little bit different, but I'll still give you all my thoughts and feelings about this. But as you can see, I've got just a little bit left here, probably just enough for about another smoke or two. The age of it, again, I don't know. This was from a bulk sample that they gave me. The contents of the mixture are somewhat a little bit disputed online. So what I'm going to do here is go directly to the website for Baren and tell you a little bit about what I found, starting with the tin's description. So the Solent mixture was first produced in 1950, making it the oldest brand in the Baren range today. The actual mixture is particularly interesting. Essentially, the tobacco consists of sweet Virginia tobaccos mixed with a full-bodied burley, to which is added the original Baren Cavendish, and making this mixture very special, Syrian Latakia tobacco. Solent mixture is a full-bodied tobacco with highly distinctive spicy flavor and aroma, a tobacco that harks back to the age of full-bodied ships, with the air on board pungent with the smell of saltwater, wharfs, and tar. An authentic English mixture. So, quick side note, on the website there is a quote from George Jensen, who is their master blender from 2019, and specifically, the Latakia is from Cyprus. It is many years since the Latakia from Syria were used. One of the other things that I found very interesting was the entire concept of this blend. So going back to 1948, Jorgen Hallberg basically had the idea, and it was to develop a Virginia tobacco with enough latakia to give a pipe smoker the right taste, but leave a more pleasant air in the room. So we're going to get into that a little bit more in the review here and my thoughts and feelings about that. But overall, from the website, the contents are Virginia, Latakia, Early, and a dark fired Kentucky Cavendish. The flavoring, like I said in the first impressions, I felt that there was a vanilla flavor, somewhat chocolatey and nutty, but again, from the website, couldn't find any real designation as to any of those additional flavors other than Jamaican rum. The cut is described as a ribbon cut, but let's cut over to a quick video here I put together to show you what it looks like. Okay, so here we have a ball jar of the Baren Solent mixture. Again, I apologize, I do not have the tin, as I did get this from Allegheny Smokeworks as a gift. They gave me a sample. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. As you can see, I have just a little bit of this left. I pretty much smoked most of it during the week here, but did want to leave just a little bit here to show you, because as the description goes, it says that this is a ribbon cut. But as I pour this out here, you'll see nice pieces of ribbon, but what I feel are finely chopped pieces of that ribbon, and even bits of cube cut, which I would assume is the burley tobacco. Okay, so let's get back into the review and specifically where you can buy this mixture. So first off, there is no 2 or 8 ounce tins. There seems to be some interesting play on the combination of the metric system versus the imperial system, where it's available in a 100-gram tin, or you can get it in a 16-ounce, 1-ounce bag. Figure that one out. But SmokingPipes.com has it in both the 100 grams and the 1 pound bag. The 100 grams is $20.70 and the 1 pound bag is $66.10. Cup of Joe's has just the 100-gram tin for $20.60, so 10-ounce savings. TobaccoPipes.com has both, starting with the 100-gram tin at $20.70, same as SmokingPipes.com, and then the 1 pound bag comes in much cheaper at $61.05, and the true winner here is at 4 Noggins. They do not have the pound bag, but the 100-gram tin is available for a very low price of $17.86. So, smoking the pipe and getting into the ratings, I had a little bit of difficulty smoking this mixture, and I'll explain why. But first, I want to get into some of the pipes that I used, starting with the IMP Meerschaum Poker that I used for the first impressions, and then went to my Missouri Meerschaum Legend 5th Avenue Bent, 7LE Roma 673 KS, Peterson Sherlock Holmes Natural Original P-Lip, one of my go-to heavy worker pipes, and probably the first true pipe I ever owned, is my HIS Bent Billiard, and then my Peterson Donegal Rocky Silver Pot, and then finally my a.k.a. Meerschaum Calabash Smooth. Okay, so let's get into the ratings itself. Overall, the tin art was excellent. It is a classic look, and the moisture from the tin is ideal. Now, this comes with a little asterisk and a little side note. This is based off of a sample that I received from Allegheny Smokeworks. I do not have the actual tin itself, but again, overall, I felt the tin art is very classy looking, and the moisture that I received in the sampling was ideal. The tin note itself, like I said in the first impressions video, it does have a vanilla aroma, and we identified that, of course, that comes from the Jamaican rum, but the tobacco itself also gives off this smoky wine aroma. Smoking the bowls itself from the char on the first light, you do get somewhat of a vanilla flavoring. It's not necessarily overwhelming, But once you get past that char and first light, the smokiness and the spiciness starts to develop. And then into the second half of the bowl, the vanilla and spice mellows out into a nice lighter English. The strength is mild, the flavor is mild, and the taste, I'm going with a medium. The nicotine was a little bit harder to put my finger on, only because I do have a higher tolerance for nicotine, and I'm going to go with a medium on that, but I'd say it's maybe even a step below that. Overall mechanics. This was also difficult in the fact that I couldn't keep a bowl lit to save my life. I constantly struggled to keep this going every time I smoked a bowl. It required way more than the average relights, almost to the point where it was almost unenjoyable. The balance was very good. The smoothness was excellent. It was a very, very smooth blend. It did burn a little bit warmer, not hot, but it also burned very quickly. The bowl moisture was ideal. Very, very few times did I have to go to a pipe cleaner to get the moisture out, and it did burn down to a grayish, darker gray, almost black ash with very, very little dottle. And the room note was absolutely, at the very least, tolerable, if not even pleasant. And again, going back to the original concept, this was a Virginia tobacco that has a lot of Kia, and it was the intent of Jorgen Hallberg to leave a more pleasant air in the room, and I couldn't agree anymore. All right, so in closing here, overall, my personal rating on this tobacco is a 3.5. It could have been a 4 or possibly even a 4.5 if it wasn't for the fact that I had to relight this thing so many times every time I smoked a bowl. And even being an aromatic, it still left that taste in your mouth. And those that smoke regular tobacco that aren't aromatic, you know what I'm talking about. Overall, this is an excellent tobacco. I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars, and this would be the perfect tobacco for that person that smokes aromatics and wants to take the plunge into that English mixture or something with a lot of Kia. Woo, look at the time. I want to thank you for stopping in and watching this full review for McBaren's a Solent mixture. Coming up, I'll be doing the first impressions video for GLP's Gaslight. So I want to wish you well, and thank you again for stopping in and watching this video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care.